message, but it's okay. This morning, I'd like to talk to you about on this Lord's Day that we also call Mother's Day. I want to talk to you this morning about women who work for God. Because I think that that's a very important subject. Here today, we have many women in the church, and I'm proud of each and every one of you. I don't have to name them, but you guys really, some of you impress me sometimes with the things you do. There are those of you that do things behind the scenes that nobody knows about. And I understand too that many of you the ones who are doing it really don't want to be recognized for the things that you do. Don't want to be brought on Front Street. Don't want your names mentioned. And I understand why you don't. And it's because you don't want to feel like, you're doing it for recognition or want anybody else to think that you're doing it for recognition. You do it because you want to do it. You are to be commended for what you do. Nations rise, nations fall. Empires prosper, crumble. Men are stirred to great accomplishment. Or they're even driven to shameful failure, often because of the influence of a wife, woman, or mother. The wise poet has properly said, the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world. No one shares and gives as a mother does. She shares her body with another in order to conceive. She shares it again with her unborn child. Then she shares her time, energy, and talent with it after it's born, just to cause it to grow and to develop. Folk, I miss my mother. I remember my mother well, and I miss her. She was some tough little cookie. Probably weighed less than 100 pounds on most days. I think my sister said she never got over 120 pounds when she was pregnant. That's something else, right? But she was small, but she was mighty. In her latter days, as my mother passed away at age 89. But in the last days, she carried a big stick. Now, part of this big stick we called her staff. It was tall as she was, and she used it really as a cane because she had crippling arthritis. But she carried it with her all the time, even to her garden. In her garden, she had a chair, a small chair, child's chair in her garden, so she can de-weed her garden. Now, she had this arthritis that was really bad, and she had a blood disease similar to what Daryl had. But my mother refused to let anybody stop her from getting up like 5 in the morning, getting in her garden, and de-weeding her garden. Every day she got up like it was a job. And she got up, and she had humor, just unbelievable. Even in her worst days, she had humor. She had love. I know that each woman that sits here today has love. Mona, I sympathize with you because AB gonna be going off to school. And you'll be left with just Carl. I was going to comment on that, but I'm going to leave that one alone. I remember when Eric went off to school. And I remember that how when he went off to school, it wasn't so bad. We took him to Alabama State. And then he came back and he went off again to, what was that? Alabama, University of Alabama. And then he came back again and Ernestine said, I sure wish that boy would leave here. Boy, it's costing too much money. He's always here and there. And then finally, he went off to the Navy. And I thought she'd be glad, Ernestine, boo-hoo. I couldn't believe the woman, why you crying? Ain't you glad that he's gone? But that's that love. I know what it is. That love for your child is something else. You share your body, your mind, your soul with your children. You call the child to grow. Happy and blessed is the home and the children of a loving mother. Happy and blessed is the church where the women work for God. So I continue to encourage you to work for God. Won't you turn quickly with me? We're going to look at Proverbs in the 31st chapter. In Proverbs, the 31st chapter, we'll look at verses 10 through 15 firstly. And the Bible tells us in Proverbs, in the 31st chapter, it says in verse 10, it says, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ship. She bringeth her food from afar. Verse 15 says, she rideth also while it is yet night and giveth meat to her household and a portion to her maids. And then we look at verse 17, it says, she girdeth her loins with strength and strengtheneth her arms. Verse 20 says, she stretches out her hand to the poor. Yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. Verse 25 says, strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in the time to come. Verse 27 says, she looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idols. And finally, verse number 30 says, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord. Wait a minute. Let me back up. Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Oh, I forgot, Veronica, this is Christmas. Last year, too. At home. Yeah, I feel for you. I know you love him. I know that the thing is that I've watched over a very great period of time is that I remember when he was a young child, that you bring him to young men's training class. Then he got up some age, started taking him to wrestling. All the things that he would do, and you gave your time, your life, your strength to him. What can I say but to you mothers who give to your children? That's something. That is something. Isha, you gave me a great grandson. A little guy I love tremendously, little Brick. I know that you care for him because you do so many things. You even have sleepless times where you have to attend to him. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for you mothers who give so much to your children. The hand that rocks the cradle. That's a powerful hand. But there are, when I think about the women that serve God, I have to think about the early church. Women played a significant role in the early church. While we don't know who the women specifically were at Thessalonica, we know that they composed a good sized part of the congregation. Turn with me, if you will. Take a look at Acts. Acts in the 17th chapter of Acts. Let's take a look here and see what the Bible says about the women of the church at Thessalonica. In Acts 17 and verse 4, it says, and some of them believed, and consorted with Paul and Silas and the devout Greeks, a great multitude. And of the chief women, not a few. There were a great number of women at Thessalonica. And at Berea, where Paul and Silas were spirited away, when we look at verse number 12 in the same chapter, what does it say? Therefore, many of them believed, also of honorable women. You know what we're saying here? Honorable women. Women of honor. Women of great report. Women. Honorable women, which were Greek and of men not a few. In Jesus' ministry as well, women played a great role. Women were the first humans to witness that Jesus had been resurrected from the dead. When I think about women that work for God, when I look at the service that women have given over time to God, they are not just a few, but we are only going to recognize a few of them. But the Bible is full of women's work in the church and for God. When we go, we look over at Genesis. If you would turn with me there, we'll take a look at some of the women. Genesis, around the 18th chapter. Abraham, chapter 18, and verse where the Lord appeared to him in the plain of Morah, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. Genesis 18, and verse 1. He lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him, and when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door, and bowed himself toward the ground, and said, my Lord, if now I have found favor in thy eyesight, pass not away, I pray thee, from thy servant. Let a little water, I pray thee, be fetched, and wash your feet, and rest yourselves under the tree. That's called hospitality. And I will fetch a morsel of bread, comfort ye your heart. After that ye shall pass on, for therefore are ye come to your servant, and he said, so do as thou hast said. Now, Abraham says, come on in, and I'll fetch you a morsel. But look what happens. And when we look here, we see 3 men. It appears that 2 were angels, and one might have even been the Lord himself. But Abraham offered hospitality to his guests. Look at at 5 and 6, it says here, and I will fetch a morsel of bread and comfort in your hearts. After that, ye shall pass on, for therefore are ye come to your servant. And they said, so do. As I said, verse 6 says, and Abraham hastened to the tent unto Sarah, and said, make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal, knead it, and make cakes upon the hearth. Now look here. Carl, I tell you, I want to come over to your heart, to your house. I know you do a lot of cooking, but you're going to go to Mama, because really, you ain't going to invite me over without letting your wife know the bill coming over. Now, in most cases, she going to have the last word. Bill? Who? Bill who? No. But I'm sure that Mona would make ready the house to receive a guest, as many of you would. You're going to receive a guest. If I tell my wife, I said, Erna, I'm going to have somebody over. I've got some, I need some background vocals done. I'm going to do a little recording. Ernestine is really always with me on most things. So she tells me, clean up the house. But we don't want anybody coming in here when the house is messy. It's my responsibility. I'm going to bring somebody in because, folks, she feels I need a job. But we won't go there. So my job is cleaning the house. And really, I don't mind. I take that upon myself. But, and I'm only kidding too. But in a way, I'm kidding. But she would want me to have the house straightened up. If I'm going to have company, don't bring anybody there without making sure the house is right. But women are gracious in that when you take a look at Sarah, we see that Abraham ran to Sarah. He said, Abraham first said, I'm going to provide you with something. But he went to Sarah and said, please make 3 cakes from a fine meal so that we can present it to our guests. But look, I want you to look at something there. When Abraham told her that, now he says, quickly make 3 loaves. I'm going to show you something. She didn't have an attitude. I wonder sometimes, folks, about marriages today. I wonder sometimes because folk have all kinds of attitude. And that's why marriages don't last. I know that there are a lot of times that maybe we're going to have company. A lot of the families coming over or something. I'll see my wife just breaking her neck and sweating in the kitchen, and you got to open the door because it's hot in there, turn the fan on, everything, because she's working hard to feed a whole bunch of folk. And I admire her because I can't even see myself doing it. But the work that she puts in, just because she's having company, and the company could be only family, yet she puts in work as if the king himself is coming. I admire that in her. But Sarah didn't get an attitude. Oh yeah, make them yourself. She didn't say anything like that. She didn't say, I got to finish my nails, you know. She didn't say my hair ain't combed and I've got to go shopping. She didn't show anything negative. She showed an attitude of service. An attitude of service. Her character was of service. We don't read attitude. We don't read misunderstanding. We don't read anger in her response to Abraham. She went and she did it. Well, I'm going to show you some attitude. You remember Vashti? Y'all remember studying Vashti in Esther, over in Esther? In Esther. You remember in Esther, at the time Ahasuerus was king, and he had a wife by the name of Vashti. Ahasuerus put on a great feast and for all the many guests he had coming in. Vashti put on something similar for all of the royalty, the ladies that were royal. She had her own party going on. And the king was serving wine and showing off all that he had. At the time, you have to understand, the king, the queen was usually part of all that he had. You see, Queen Vashti was a beautiful woman, one of the most beautiful women that, as it's brought here in our lesson. She was a great and beautiful woman. And so after they had been drinking for a while, King Ahasuerus says to his servant, go get Queen Vashti and bring her. See, he wanted to show her to his friends and other royalty, princes, and all the royalty of the land. So he says, go get Queen Vashti. Well, Vashti was big. Vashti had company. Vashti was hosting a party of her own for all women, the royalty of the land. And when the servants came and said, Queen Vashti, the king desires your presence. Look here. Won't you turn with me over there to the book of Esther in the first chapter? We'll start where the king says to bring her. Now, verse number 11, it says that to bring Vashti the queen before the king with the crown royal, jewelry and all that finery she had, to show the people and the princes her beauty, for she was fair to look at. The word fair indicates beauty. But the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlains. Therefore was the king very wroth, and anger burned in him. She had an attitude. The king says, come. He's the king. The king is the ruler of the land. In truth, she was busy with things, but she was ruled by a king. Her only responsibility was to the king. Vashti sort of messed that up. Because after a while, she wasn't queen any longer. Esther became queen after a time. You know, to the women, I say this only that when we are married, and when we are married to a man, that the man is head of his house. Oh, you can look at me funny if you want. But I say it in front of my wife. I'm the head of my house. But she's my queen. Should I say it again? I am the head of my house. But she is my queen. Now, before I make any major decisions, I go to my queen. I say, look here, we got this, and I'm going to do this or that. What do you think? And because of my love and respect for her opinion, I'm giving y'all some marriage lessons. Okay? Because of my love and respect for her, I listen to what she has to say. Because see, I married an intelligent woman, so I really respect her intelligence. I respect her morals. I respect her religious beliefs. I respect her as my partner. You see, I don't step on her. I don't think she's allowed. She ain't the step on kind. If I tried to step on her, I'd have to keep on stepping. But I'm just saying that when two people are married, there is a union. You become one. That's what the Bible does. You become one. So therefore you are one in thinking. So therefore you will talk over things. You have to respect one another. If you don't respect the person you're with, you got no business with them. And if you don't respect them, you probably don't deserve it. Respect the one you're with. If you don't respect them, leave them. Leave them alone. If they don't respect you, leave them. Leave them alone. Marriage 101. But we're going to move on. Vashti messed up. Sarah in service showed her character of service, her character of wifely duties, respect of her man. We don't read of her comments because there were none. When we consider, I want you to turn with me, if you will, real quick. When we consider 1 Peter, 3rd chapter, 1 Peter. Verses 1 through 6. This is what it says. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husband, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives. See, there's a lot of men there are a lot of women in the church, but the husband may not be. But see, you notice that the Bible even recognizes that there's somebody in the church and there's somebody outside of the church. But let's see what it says. It's talking to the wives, but I would say that it really means the same thing to the men. I'm just giving you some lessons about how God works. Listen what it says. Likewise, you wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not, if they're not in the church, obey not the word, they also may be without the word, be won by the conversation of the wife. How you act could win over your spouse. How you conduct yourself can win over the person that you're with. Well, how do you talk? You know, how do you conduct yourself to them? Do they see you as a Christian person? All these things are important, y'all. We're going to get back to women working for God. but we got to cover some stuff while we're on our way. And also verse number 2 says, while they behold your chaste conversation, coupled with fear, whose adorning, let it not be the outward adorning of plaiting the hair and of wearing of gold and putting on of apparel, but let it be the hidden man of the heart in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God a great price. Verse 5 says, for after this manner in the old times the holy women also who trusted in God adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands. Finally, verse 6 says, even as Sarah, we were talking about Abraham's wife, Sarah, it says, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord. Oh, that sounds funny in today's time, doesn't it? I'm sure I can never get her to call me Lord. I'm sure. Some of y'all can talk to her if you want it. See how far they go. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well, and are not afraid with any amazement. If none believing husbands, he might be won by the quality of the woman's life. Same thing applies to the man. If she's not in the church, she might be won by your quality, by your spirituality, by your righteousness, moral purity, cautioning not to rely on gaudy or excessive jewelry or beauty, a standard set by holy women of the past, giving to their husbands a standard that's set. Now, another, well, remember Deborah. You remember Deborah? In council, Deborah was a judge and a prophetess of Israel. When we take a look over at Judges, over at Judges, in Judges, the 4th chapter, Deborah was a judge and prophetess of Israel. In 5 and 7, it calls her a mother in Israel. She consoled Barak as he battled Sierra, one of the kings that came up against Israel. Now, you have to understand that Israel again was disobeying God, serving idols and whatnot. She had been in captivity, Israel had, for a time. But then God heard Israel speak out and began to pray to God to save us. And really, let me just say this while I'm passing. The Bible, from the very beginning to its end, and I've said it many times and I'll keep saying it, from its very beginning to its end, is talking about repentance. That's what the Bible is about. We come back to God, then God fights our battles. But if we allow ourselves to be swept away by other things, idols and whatnot, our idols today is how much money we make, what kind of our prestigious jobs, our beautiful homes. And anybody ever watch what is it, Homes of the Wealthy? What is that? The Wealth Entertainment Channel. Oh man, I like that. My wife and me. I think she's trying to get me to make some money so she can live like. But anyway, we look at those beautiful homes and we sit there and look and both of us say, ooh, ah. Oh. Some home, I'm looking at a house yesterday, sitting on 2 acres, at the center of 2 acres. hedges and bushes, talking about a yard. Oh my goodness, you can sleep in the yard. And then when you get inside the home, you're looking through the house and the kitchen. Oh my goodness, ladies, I can see you're salivating now about that kitchen. It was so beautiful. Long counters, you can sit about 20 people in the kitchen. There's a back stair that goes up to the children's playroom and sleep room. There's a place built in to eat to the wall where you can get bed. There were beds built in to the wall where the children can play. You could have your whole family over and all the children have a whole room to themselves, probably about 20, 25 feet long. Good gracious alive. Similar to your house car, but never. When we look at all of this, we look at the living room and we look at the bedrooms and all, and we say, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, I love to have this. And some people, folk that is their God. And then they may drive a Maserati or a Rolls Royce or whatever, and it's parked out front. We might be have the best job, whatever. And this is our God. We don't come to church because we're too busy cleaning that big house or cutting all that grass or washing that beautiful car, showing our neighbors, having folk over so we can show off what we got. So we don't serve God. In that case, I say that those people have transferred their God. They've transferred to another God with a little g. Don't let me stay right there. Israel was under siege because they had began to follow other gods. Deborah was a prophet in the land, a person put in place by God. Well, she told Barak, if that's his name, let me find that if I might. Now, let me read it if you don't mind. I'll start at chapter 4, verse 1. The children of Israel again did evil in the sight of the Lord when Ehud was dead, and the Lord sold them into the hand of Jabin, king of Canaan, that reigned in Hazor. Okay. And in verse number 3 says, the children of Israel cried unto the Lord, for he had, this man Ahor had 900 chariots of iron, and 20 years he mightily oppressed the children of Israel for 20 years. Deborah, prophetess, the wife of Lepidot, she judged Israel at that time, and she dwelt under the palm, and Deborah between Ramah and Bethel on the mount. And then verse number 6 says, now remember she's the prophetess of God, and so verse number 6 says that she sent and called Barak and son of Ebenon out of the Kadesh and and said unto him, have not the Lord God of Israel commanded, saying, go and draw toward Mount Tabor, and take with thee 10,000 men of the children of Israel, and of Nephtali, and of the children of Zebulun, and I will draw unto thee to the river of Kishon, and Sierra, the captain of Jabin's army with his chariots and his multitude, and I will deliver him unto thine hand. But look here, Deborah was a person of God, a prophet of God. But look here, Barak was a little fearful. She said, God said, go to this place. Well, after she told him that, let me find it. It says, in verse number 8, Barak said unto her, if thou wilt go with me. Now, he didn't want to go himself unless she was there with him. God says, now she's a prophetess, and she's delivering a message to him from God who says, go and I'm going to take care of the battle. But his faith was somewhat lost. But he had to have this woman of God with him. You know what, folks? I'm so glad I have a woman of God with me. Because I know that she prays for me. She looks out for me. Sometimes she treats me as if I'm one of her kids, but you know, we won't go into that, you know. But she looks out for me. But I know that she prays for me. Sometimes I'll say, understand when you say a prayer for me, you're having a little hard time with this, that, and the other. Ernestine said, no, I'm praying for you every day. I'm praying for you every day. I sort of knew that anyway. But you know, sometimes you just need that special prayer. Well, if you got a woman that's a prayerful woman, you know, something you ain't even got to worry about this. She gonna pray for you. I appreciate my wife. I appreciate the fact that she prays for me constantly. Now, I need it. But he says, Barak said unto her, if thou wilt go with me, then I will go. But if thou wilt not go with me, then I will not go. But wait a minute. What did she say? And she said, I will surely go with thee. Now let this woman tell me, I'm going into battle with you. I am going into battle with you. Why? Because God said the battle was already won. So in order to show the men I should say, because none of the army was going to go unless Deborah was right there. She had the reputation. Folks, let me tell you, reputation is something very important. A reputation is something very important. How do you conduct yourself? What is your character? What are the things that you say to people? Well, so what do people think of you? Deborah apparently had a reputation that was spotless. She had a reputation because she was given by God to the Israelites. She directed their path and she judged them under a palm tree. She stood there and people came to her and she made judgments and gave advice and did things for Israel. So she had a spotless reputation. And so these men were not going to battle without this person with this spotless reputation, this woman. But she says, I'll go. How about Hannah in her devotion? You remember Hannah over in 1 Samuel, in the first chapter. Hannah had no children. And the second wife had several children. In verse 6 of Samuel, let me find it. Oh, my time is running away. In 1 Samuel, the first chapter, and we look at verse number 6, and what it says there is her adversary also, her husband had another wife. And the Bible calls her Hannah's adversary. The Bible said, and her adversary also provoked her, so for her to make her fret because the Lord had shut up her womb. She had no children. So let me tell you what she did. You know, when she was going through this trouble for who knows how long, but this other woman who was the adversary, actually the other wife, and was only the second wife. Hannah was the first. But let me tell you something, when a man got a good woman, you know what he does? Look at verse number 8. Let me tell you what the husband does first. He says in verse number 8, in 1 Samuel, first chapter says, then he said, Elkanah, her husband to her, Hannah, why weepest thou? And why eatest thou not? And why is thy heart grieved? Am not I better to thee than 10 sons? I'm better to you than 10. You ain't got to have nobody else. You don't have to have any children. When a man loves a woman, Carl, do you love a woman like that? When a man love the woman. Who sang that song? James Brown did it, and some other. When a man loves a woman, when a man loves a woman, he'll give her all. He's going to pick her up. But look here. This is about the women. When we look here, we see Hannah wanted a son to please her husband. So she prayed. Verse number 9 says, so Hannah rose up after they had eaten and shallowed, after they had drunken. And now Eli the priest sat upon the seat by the post of the temple of the Lord, and she was in bitterness of soul, and prayed unto the Lord, and wept sore. And she vowed a vow and said, O Lord of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the afflictions of thine handmaiden, and remember me, and not forget thine handmaiden, but will give unto thine handmaiden a man child. Then I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life, and there shall be no razor upon his head. Then the child was born. Let me move on. The widow of Zappath in hospitality back. When we take a look over at 1 Kings. 1 Kings, 17th chapter, and verses 9 through 12. And it says there, and his servant Zimri, captain of half his chariots, conspired. 1 Kings 17. Listen. It says there in verse number 9, it says, talking to Elijah, says, arise and get thee to Zarephath, which belongs to Zidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a widow woman there to sustain thee. So he rose and went to Zarephath, and when he came to the gate of the city, behold, the widow woman was there gathering of sticks, and he called to her and said, fetch me, I pray thee, a little water in a vessel that I may drink. And as she was going to fetch it, look, no attitude. He had for a drink of water. She ran to fetch it for him. She didn't stop asking, well, look, man, I'm fetching some sticks right now. I ain't got time for you. No, she went on and got it. And as she was going to fetch it, he called to her and said, bring me, I pray thee, a morsel of bread of thine hand. Listen. Now, we're talking about a poor woman. And she said, as the Lord thy God liveth, I have not a cake, but a handful of meal in a barrel, and a little oil in a curse. And behold, I am gathering 2 sticks that I may go and in and dress it for me and my son. I only got a handful of meal, and I only got a little taste of oil. And this is only enough to sustain myself and my child, my son. But let me tell you about faith of this woman. The Bible tells us, Eli said unto her, fear not, go and do as thou hast said, but make me therefore a little cake first, and bring it unto me, and after make for thee and thy son. Now she said, I only got enough for me and my son. He says, go make mine first, then make yours for you and your son. For thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, verse number 14, the barrel of meal shall not waste, neither shall it curse of all of oil and until the day that the Lord sendeth rain upon the earth. Now, she did exactly what was said. She didn't have an attitude. She went and had an attitude of servitude. By faith, she shared it with Elijah and was rewarded for it, verses 14 and 15. Now, I'm going to move on. Mary, in her priority, you remember in Luke. And I'm going to conclude there. I'm not going to take it too much further. Mary, in her priority, Luke in the 10th chapter. Verse number 38. Now it came to pass as they ran and entered into the certain village, that a certain woman named Martha received him into her house, and she had a sister called Mary, which also sat at Jesus' feet and heard his word. But Martha was cumbered about much serving, and came to him and said, Lord, dost thou not care that my sister hath left me to serve alone? Bid her therefore that she help me. But listen to what Jesus said. Jesus answered and said to her, Martha, Martha, thou art careful and troubled about many things. But one thing is needful, and Mary hath chosen that good part. There's one thing that is needful, and your sister chose that one thing that is needful. What is that? Which shall not be taken away from her. She's chosen the good part. Talking about listening to the word, attending to Christ, sitting at his feet, listening to what he has to say. The same thing we're supposed to be doing. Listening, sitting at Christ's feet, listening to the words, reading and studying God's word, that we might know what to do. Forget the housework when it comes to the Bible. Forget all the company. Somebody said they want to come over or whatever. If you read the Bible, tell them, okay, when I finish, so you can come by late or tomorrow or whatever. If you study the Bible. Oh, wait a minute. When it comes time to go to Bible class. It comes time to go to Bible class. And somebody going to drop by. You know, did you drop Bible class and make it freedom? Okay, so Bible class is a very important part. I often continue to say it. We need to be a Bible class. You know, some of us, sometimes we have questions. They can be answered in Bible class. I don't care what the lesson is. We can stop and answer questions. We can discuss anything that we have a problem with. Maybe somebody asked you a question that you couldn't answer. Bring it to Bible class. Sunday school. Same thing. We need to know what God wants from us. And by us studying together, we'll get God's word. Mary had her priorities. Christ was speaking. Here is divine instruction. Here was the word of God. When a woman has her priorities straight in the church, what comes first is the word. Not just the woman. If anybody got their priorities straight, then we know that first is the word. Okay, I'm going to quit right there. My conclusion. Here's some women that work for God. They're an example to us, both men and women, in these areas of work and service. I hope we are motivated by these great services that these folks produce. For you who are mothers, I can only hope and pray that you will follow the example of some of these women in giving of yourself. And some of you, I just want to say, continue giving of yourself. Because I'm proud of some of the stuff that you do that people don't even know about. Oh, well, I can stand here right now and just talk about some of you and tell folks what you're doing. You know, they don't know about it. Nobody knows about it. But you're doing these things, and I'm proud of you to say. But I won't do that, because I know you don't want attention. So I'll leave it alone. But you're doing things quietly, but you're doing things. Not only giving to your family, but to God also. He will be with you. God will be with you in all things. I hope and pray that I've said something that would be helpful today. I want to say again, Happy Mother's Day. But I don't want to just stop there and say Happy Mother's Day because everybody's not a mother. I want to stop and say Happy Ladies' Day. We are so proud of you women who work in the church. We are so proud of the women who don't mind coming in and doing something. Somebody asks them to do something, they don't mind doing it. Because they're doing it for God. That's such a great thing. everybody, every woman can be said to do that. You know, women out in the street, stuff that over, you think about God. I want you to know God is in your lives. God is touching all of us. Yeah. And if we push him to the side, where does that place us? Where does that place us if we push God to the side and we make excuses to do everything we want to do and don't give him nothing? Let me say it again. That just sounds so nasty to me. Don't give God nothing. But he's steady giving to you. Ha! Oh, that's so ugly. We can't. Okay, I'm getting ready to get started. But I won't do it. I'm going to be nice on this Mother's Day. But folk, we need to give God some more. Because, you know, I'm just going to touch on this. I ain't heard it preach, so I'm going to touch on it. How much do we give to God when we give? When you put your money in the basket. Now see, this money ain't for devil. we ain't giving money to devil for the preacher, folk. It's for the work of the church. And there's plenty of work to do. So how much money you give? Oh, wait. Let's forget about the money. That folk, they get to squirming when you start talking about folks' pockets. You know, I understand that, but how much time are you giving? How much time do you give God? So, and then let's count up how much he's giving you. Folk, we some blessed folk. Ain't nobody in here hungry. Nobody in here hungry. Anybody hungry, raise your hand. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's close to dinner time. So yeah, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that kind of hungry. But folk, we got so much. We have so much to be thankful for. Are we thankful? I've given you my message. Hopefully, I've said something that will touch you, and everybody can. I believe that everybody can understand what I've said. Everybody can relate to what I've said. Everybody can believe what I said because I said it from the Bible. Everybody. I'll put it this way: this message was for everybody. Not just mothers. I've given you my lesson. Dallas, here the invitation is extended. Won't you stand and all of us sing the invitation song? Yeah.